Welcome back to another training. Today we're going to be learning all about file types for digital products. I get so many questions all the time about PNGs and PDFs and templates and things like that and raster files and what exactly all of that means. So that is what we are going to break down inside this lesson. So let's get right into it with file types and resolutions. There's two types of file types and two types of resolutions that you should be aware of. The first one is raster images. Raster images are pixel based and are ideal for photographs. However, they do lose quality when scaling up. So if you want to make an image, a photograph bigger, just know that the resolution is going to get pixelated. So there's two types of raster images. There are JPEGs and PNGs. JPEG files are commonly used for online images due to their small size and are great for photos. PNGs, on the other hand, are ideal for designs needing transparency, such as logos and print-on-demand graphics. The other side of that are vector files, vector images. So vector images use points instead of pixels and can be scaled without losing quality, making them perfect for logos and illustrations. So if you're creating a vector file, you can enlarge that as big as you want and is not going to lose the resolution. Some of the vector images that you will see are PDFs and SVGs. So PDFs are versatile, they're high quality files, perfect for printables and multi-page documents, and SVGs are perfect for designs that need to be resized frequently, like logos or cut files for crafting. So if ever you hear the term like SVG files, just know that this is like a vector file that someone can download from you. They can purchase a vector file from you that they're going to use in their shirts, in their prints, somewhere, and it's not going to lose their resolution if they decide to print it out. So those are the two different types of files. We have raster images and vector images. Then we are going to go into zip files because this is another term that a lot of people don't really know about, or they do, they just don't know how to open things and things like that. So zip files compress original files to reduce the size for easier delivery via download links or emails. So a lot of the times when we are doing, let's say, bundles, sometimes we're going to zip the file of this bundle so we can put it into our email or we can send it as a download. Customers will need to unzip the file to access the original content, a step that should be clearly explained when they purchase. So if you decide, so let's say you are selling on Etsy and you decide to bundle up some products and you decide to zip them so you can upload them to Etsy, you should actually let your audience know, let your customer know that how they should unzip the file. I've had some customers where I've sold zip files, like where I've sold bundles and they come to them as a zip file and they don't know how to open it. Sometimes the computer, you just have to double click, or sometimes you have to right click and put unzip. But these are things that you do need to put some sort of step-by-step just in case someone doesn't know. Also, zip files are a practical solution for delivering large files, especially when there are platform restrictions. So for example, this image right here that I have for you, this is an image from Etsy. Etsy allows you 20 megabytes. Anything after that is going to give you this red sign right here that you exceeded your megabytes. You exceeded the capacity of what Etsy gives you. So you need to compress that file. You need to zip it in order for it to be less. Sometimes though, you do zip it and it still does not allow you to, like it's still too big. That's when you come in and you put it like in a Google Drive or a Dropbox, and we're going to talk about that later. The next thing that I want to cover is choosing the right file type. There's 3 things to consider when you are downloading these products so you send them off to your customer. The first thing is product type. Consider the nature of your digital product when selecting a file type. For example, use JPEGs for stock photos and use PNGs for designs with transparent backgrounds. The next thing that you do want to also consider is customers' needs. Some may require a specific file type, for example, like a PDF for printing, or maybe they're requiring an SVG because it's a vector file and they want to make it bigger or smaller. So really consider the customer's needs as well. And the other thing that you want to consider is platform requirements as well. So online platforms like Etsy have file size limits. We just went over that. It's 20 megabytes. So choose a file type that meets these requirements without compromising quality. At the end of the day, you do not want to make things smaller or, make the file smaller when it's going to lose the resolution. So you have to consider all of those things when you're picking what type of file you're going to deliver to your customer. And right here, you see a couple of examples of the type of files that you're going to see. These are actually screenshots from Etsy, from some of the listings. They actually tell you what type of file you're going to receive. So you're going to receive a PNG, or you're going to receive a PDF, or you're going to receive one zip file. These are all the different types of file that you can put on Etsy or even on any other platform. So let's go over researching file types on Etsy, because this is something that I like to do. When I'm doing my research for digital products, I also like to see what are the deliverables that other people within my niche or a type of digital product that I'm thinking of creating, what are their deliverables? So search and analyze on Etsy. Use Etsy search to find similar products and note the file types used by top sellers in your niche. You will see that inside the listing images. So examine the product description, because sometimes they also will give you the types of products that are within that zip file. What are they going to find? You should be also listing that out yourself in the description of your products. So examine the product description and understand what file types are included and why they are chosen. The other thing that you want to also look into is customer preferences. So consider the preferences of potential customers by offering file types that cater to various needs. So I did want to include here some Etsy examples of what I'm talking about. So if you look at this one, for example, these are wall arts. You're going to see in the item details, you're going to see that the customer is going to receive one PDF file. And if you continue scrolling through that listing, you're also going to see exactly what they're going to receive, because the seller includes it in there. So it says, upon purchase, you will be able to instantly download the 3 prints in 5 different sizes. So within this PDF file, they're going to give me these 3 prints that they are selling in these 5 different file sizes. And they even give you the ratios and the sizes: 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 5, 5 by 7, 11 by 14. More details below. So if you want to read all of that, you can. But this is really good, because if you want to go ahead and also sell wall art, then you'll know that you need to also create the same wall art in all of these different formats and sizes, right? And it says these digital files are available through the link provided in the PDF document upon purchase. So that's why they have only one PDF. Then this is another Etsy example. These are 50 mug mock-up coffee cup images, basically, like mock-up images. But this is just the image, right? So you can come in and customize it and all that stuff. So what are they going to receive? Digital file types under item details. You're going to see 5 zip files. So they're going to receive 5 different zip files. And then in there, it's going to say this digital download. If you continue scrolling through the description, it's going to say this digital download includes compressed zip files that contain 50 JPEG files. And that is what I'm going to receive. Then this is another one, right? I wanted to give you multiple examples. Here it says I'm going to receive another zip file, but this is just one of them, not 5. And this is just Mama Heart Valentine PNG. So I'm just going to receive this PNG. It's probably a PNG because there's no background. I'm probably going to use this on a shirt or something. So this is another one that someone is selling. And here in the description says this is a PNG file, 300 DPI image with a transparent background, perfect for sublimation and DTG printing. This is not an SVG, so that's good to know, because maybe I want an SVG so it doesn't lose resolution, because PNGs also lose resolution, but SVGs don't. So it's a digital file and no product will be shipped. Perfect. So just to let you know that this is another thing that you can do. You can do some Etsy research, go to the items details to look at what exactly people are getting, and then go and search the description to see exactly what type of files they're giving to their customers. This is so important. I do not want you to skip this part of the research portion, because a lot of people, you're going to receive feedback if you provide the customer with the wrong file type. If they're not able to use your digital product, for example, if this was a JPEG with a transparent without a transparent background, it had a white background, people are going to get upset because they probably wanted something with no background, just the mama, so they can put on shirts, they can put it on mugs, they can utilize it. They won't be able to utilize it if it has a white background. So you have to make sure that you're providing them with a PNG with a transparent background. That's why it's so important to do this research, especially if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to create SVG files, or I'm going to create different PNG files. How are they delivering it to their customers? How are other Etsy sellers or other sellers as a whole delivering it to their customers? And usually you're going to find this answer in the item details as well as in the description. So I hope you enjoyed this training, and I will see you on the next one.